Anyways, hey guys, I'm here at Costco, and I need you to walk through a hypothetical with me. A couple days ago, maybe there was a bad storm, and you might have lost power, and it might have been out for a day or two, and you're here now replacing everything that you lost in your refrigerator. And then you come down an aisle, and you run across this little guy, and then you're thinking to yourself, you know what? It would have been great if I'd have had one of these and I could have plugged in my refrigerator and I would have been fine. And by and large, you're right. But you walk down a little bit further and then you come across this. Oh, yeah, whole house generator. Go get the flatbed. This is awesome. Well, it's fancy. Well, hang tight before you run and grab that flatbed. Let's talk a little bit about these whole house generators because they are not by any means plug and play. Welcome to Doodad's Gadgets and Gizmos. All right, guys, whole home generators. Let's get into that a little bit. So, what do I mean by they're not plug and play? Well, this is one item that you're not gonna buy at Costco, bring it home, plug it in, and you know, go to town. This is an item that really actually there's a lot of questions that you have to ask before you even consider buying a unit because you need to know what kind of unit you need to buy. So questions like what kind of fuel, right? Is it going to be a propane generator? Is it going to be a natural gas generator? Do you have access to either one of those? If not, maybe it's a diesel generator. Who knows? But you have to answer these questions first before you go buy one. Then what kind of power needs do you have, right? So you take your house and all of the fun stuff inside, your lights and your refrigerator and your furnace and all your different appliances and so on and so forth that are essential to you to run during a power outage. And then you add all those up and there's an equation. You take the amps times the volts equals the watts and you add all of that up and then that tells you what kind of kW you would need, and then there's percentages to that. Anyway, there's a little more that goes into sizing it, right? So it's not necessarily just like there it is. So you have to ask that. You have to, where is it going to be? Where is it going to be located? How far away from the utility? What kind of power cables do I need? I don't know. Are you a part of an HOA? Are they even going to allow you to have it? Is your neighbors going to freak out if you put one because it's so close to them? I don't know. There's a lot to think about. So with that being said, right, you have a couple of different scenarios here. You can go get that flatbed and drag this thing home, and hopefully, the best case scenario, you get it home, you open it up, you pull out the manual, and you start reading through it. And believe me, guys, the first 5 or 6 pages is all just warnings and recommendations that only a professional and yada, yada, yada. There's words like hazard, danger, electrocution, explosion, death. There's a lot of fun words there. And hopefully that's enough to scare you to the point saying, nah, this really ain't me. Throw it back in the box, bring it back to the store, right? A lot of pain in the butt, but you prevented some further problems, because the other situation is where you power on through, you say I can do this, and so you call over some friends and then you watch 12.5 instructional YouTube videos and you plow on through, maybe have a few wobble pops, and next thing you know, you or one of your friends get electrocuted and or you burn your house down, right? So my advice to you, don't do it. Now, with that being the case, why does Costco have them on the shelf, right? And I asked myself the same thing, because not only Costco had them, but Sam's Club had them, right? You go to Lowe's or Home Depot, they have them advertised as something that they will install, but they don't necessarily have them in the store, right? But so I come to the conclusion that these these wholesale clubs, they have a lot of members, right? They have members like me that, I deal with generators all the time. I'm not a Generac dealer or a Honeywell dealer or anything like that. I don't even do residential applications. The generators I use, they're big generators, but they're more for commercial applications, trucks and construction equipment, and so forth. But I do know how to install them, and the Honeywell that I have, I got from Costco. And then they also have, maybe they're members or builders or electricians or whatever. So there's people that can buy them and install them. But more importantly, and I think like Costco, for example, or even Sam's Club, you see it, it gets you thinking, and then you start asking questions. And the cool thing is if you notice when you leave Costco, right? There's that nice, pretty section that has all the services that they provide here. So you see it, they offer this, and that. And right there you have whole home generators. And so they're hoping you're going to give them a call, right? And get somebody out there. And I recommend that's the way you go. Okay. So with that being said, they do have those other options, the portable generators that you've seen. Those might be a better fit for you. Who knows, right? You might just need to plug in your refrigerator for a couple hours till the power comes back on. Then you stick it back in the shed, forget about it. Standby units, they are a luxury, or they can be a medical necessity, but you have to decide that. Is it really important enough to do that? Because these things don't come cheap, right? The shelf price is only a part of it. It goes a lot deeper than that. For example, the wire that you need to hook it up, it usually, on average, about $10 a foot, right? So if your generator is 100 feet away from your panel box, you're looking at $1,000 in wire alone, right? So it gets expensive. A recommendation is you either reach out to like Costco, okay, see if they can get somebody out to you, or you reach out to a local contractor that does this, okay, because they're going to be familiar with your municipality. More than likely done it there before. They know the codes, they can pull the permits and get all the necessary things to do it. But on 1,000 square foot house with your standard requirements, you're probably going to be in the range of 10, maybe, I don't know, 10 to 12 or $9,000 to $12,000 for one of these things. So they are not cheap. But anywho, with that being said, hopefully you learn something from this. They're not as simple as they look. Not sure why they sell them, but anyway, give me a quick like if you got some information from it, because after all, I could have saved your life here. But just kidding. But I do a lot of doodads, gadgets, and gizmos, and I'll take a peek at some things at Costco or Sam's Club. And if there's something you want like more information on, bloop it down in the comments. Let me know. I'll do something on it. But anyway. Hope this was helpful for you, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.